Welcome, welcome, welcome. First things first, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that notification button. Slap it like you saw in the thumbnail of this video. Slap it. Hit the notification button so you know when I'm going live. It is sporadic. I don't usually announce it. It just kind of happens. The Soft Spoken Shaman is the place to hit me up if you want to sponsor videos, if you have questions, comments, you want to read my books, yada yada. That's how you get in touch right there. If you're catching this on the replay, leave a super thanks if you like the content, or if you're listening to it here live, make sure you hit the super chat button if you got a question or comment you'd like me to address. I'll be happy to do that. So on this channel, I talk about from time to time, particularly female predators, female teachers who prey on the youth, who prey on their students, who abuse their position of trust. But this story I'm going to talk about today is a little bit different. It's hella disgusting. It's real bad. And maybe some of you have heard about this. So this happened in the summer of 2024. And a 14-year-old boy did the nasty with a 91-year-old woman. So what happened is, this is just a neighborhood kid in Florida. He had, in the middle of the night, broken into this 91-year-old woman's house. He had found her iPad. He had begun to watch Prawn on her iPad. And then he proceeded to brutally beat her and then SA her. This woman, after the fact, had said that she thought he was just a nice neighborhood. He was a good boy, They wouldn't say. I listened to some of the interrogation, the part that has been, the public can see it, and the detectives claim that he had attacked her with an axe. I don't know if that's true or not, but they did bring it up in the interrogation. So the thing is, he pleaded guilty. His sentencing was supposed to happen in December, but it got backed up to early February of this year. So his sentencing is coming up soon. I'm really interested to see what he gets from the judge. I don't know if it's a jury trial or a judge. Well, the trial's already over. He's been convicted, just waiting on sentencing. But I'll be really surprised because he's 14. I don't know if they're going to throw the book at him and charge him as an adult. For an SA crime like that, including violence, you really can't get much worse than that. And it makes you wonder because in the prison system, obviously, not just chomos, but anybody who's got a spicy sort of offense is seen as, less than dirt. So I don't even know when he gets sentenced to prison. Will he get sentenced to, juvenile and then move to adult prison when he's 18? I don't know. But what if they ship him off to adult prison right away? There's a statistical chance that he doesn't even stay on the in the unit that long, that he gets wiped out into oblivion, if you know what I mean. Now, so the point of this, why this is called Young Men in the Crosshairs, it's something you don't hear too much about with Prawn. Now, everybody and their mom and their dad has watched Prawn at some point in time until hopefully you woke up and realized it's bad for you. The problem with Prawn is we've all heard the studies that women's brains are much more likely to mature by the time I believe they're 18 or 21. I think it's 21. And they say for men, on average, that concretization, that maturity level is reached typically around the age of 25. So the problem is the average age that a young boy starts watching Prawn nowadays is age 11. So the issue with Prawn that a lot of people don't talk about, they talk about it burning out your dopamine receptors, all that stuff. That's totally true. But what they don't talk about is the propensity for Prawn to induce you into states of derealization, where you're almost sleepwalking, imitating these fantasies. It's really sad, but that kid, what he did was horrible. And he should have prison time. And you got to feel for the victim because, nobody should have to deal with that, especially a 91-year-old who's probably a grandmother or a great-grandmother. That's horrible. But that boy, probably fell down that rabbit hole of all the different prawns you can see online. And he probably fell into like the grandma niche, the mature niche. You all know what I'm talking about. Everybody's got their thing. Some people, that's their thing. And so the problem with prawn is, especially when your brain is not fully matured yet, you are much more likely to want to enact what you're seeing on the screen, because since it's so prevalent in society, it becomes normalized to you. It doesn't seem weird to you. The behaviors don't seem like antisocial behaviors or weird personality disorder behaviors. I mean, if people acted like they act in prawn in real life, that's a personality disorder. It's not real. But young kids don't know this. They haven't been on the planet long enough to know this. So this is not the first instance, this 14-year-old Jesse Stone who's done this. This has happened before, and unfortunately, it's probably going to happen again. They don't know that what they're seeing is, a bioweapon intended to destroy their mind, to destroy their body, destroy their outlook, to demoralize. And so what they see when they watch prawn is they see, oh, this man's having a whole bunch of fun. Well, and that woman, she's squealing with pleasure. She's having a bunch of fun. Well, I want to have a bunch of fun too. So if I want to have a bunch of fun, I should probably do what they're doing. And then, of course, the boy's 14. He's got no willing partner around. Maybe he doesn't even know how to manipulate himself yet. Everybody's different in that regard, that age. So he probably just in his head thought, well, this lady, she's a potential. Might as well go try this with her. The sad thing is we can't get in his mind. We don't know what he was thinking. If he was, just so blinded and fogged by lust, or if it was really like a super naive thing, like where he just wanted to feel that pleasure. He wanted to feel that fun. Might have been naive like that, or, he might have been, absolutely cold-blooded and manipulative. I don't know. The problem is that he broke not only did he break a boundary of violence and obvious, SA, but he also broke into her house. I mean, that's like the unholy trinity of felonies. You know what I mean? Like, that's messed up, man. But here's the other thing about prawn, besides derealization, it also leads people to not respect boundaries. Like we all see, guys who watch so much prawn, they don't have too much experience with women. They try to enact those behaviors with women, and women complain, like, what is this guy doing to me? He's treating me like an object, So it causes you to not respect boundaries. It causes you to traverse boundaries. It causes you to almost like, cocaine or other types of drugs, or like fentanyl, which causes you to be careless, to feel like you're like a god, like you can do anything. There's no conscience holding you back. I think that prawn really has this ability to mute your conscience, or to bring your conscience to a state of submission, because I feel like a lot of the crimes we see nowadays are really sexually motivated. And if you read my book, The Forbidden Laws of Success, Volume 2, Don't You Know You're Gods, I have a full chapter on some musings on this topic. But I really think that prawn, as a directed energy bioweapon, really does some nasty work to your brain and your body that people aren't really talking about. And once again, I'll say it again, I really think it does a doozy on the viewer's conscience. It really downregulates their conscience. Because your dopamine, you're seeing this guy having fun, this woman having fun, you're getting all hot and bothered, it's tickling your brain stem, and you're tickling your other stem down below too, And when that happens, morality and ethics and thoughts of just being a solid human being go out the window. And pleasure seeking, obviously, comes at the forefront. So this case with Jesse Stone, this 14-year-old, essaying this 91-year-old, I think is really a watershed case, because it does shed light on the ways this weapon, this pixelated sexual weapon, can destroy lives. A lot of people think that watching prawn is a victimless crime, it's not a crime, but it's victimless. It's just a pastime, it's entertainment. But I really think if people started connecting the dots, they'd realize this is not the case. And it's very, very dangerous, especially in the hands of the youth who are not of age yet, where the tectonic plates of their skull and their brain are not set yet. Very, very bad situation for them, And I get it, a lot of people now are love starved, right? And so a lot of people know that prawn is bad for them, but yet they still turn to it as a crutch and as a cope because they're not able to, get a partner in real life, or they're not able to get their Jiminy's cricketed, so to speak, And I get it, it does fulfill a purpose for people, But at the end of the day, it's like any sort of weapon or poison. You get a little hit of feel-good endorphins, but then you get a whole bunch of blowback that destroys you. And so I'm really interested in watching the end of this case and see what this guy gets sentenced to. If you look at his mugshot, he's a 14-year-old boy, but if you look at the original mugshot, right, and then the mugshot recently after he's been convicted, the kid looks like he's aged about 10 years in 2 months, 3-4 months. It's wild. It's really wild. I watched the interrogation, and his grandma was in the room, because I guess he doesn't have a mom, so his grandma was acting as his mom. Of course, you think he's got a dad? Of course he doesn't, right? And his grandma was just like, if you did this, I can't believe. Why did you do this? We love you. We give you everything. We take care of you. Why'd you do this? Well, she doesn't know. It's because mom's not there and dad's not there. And no matter how much grandma loves him, I don't doubt, she loves him a lot. Grandma just doesn't fit the bill for dad. Grandma means well, but grandma doesn't have the testosterone, the testicular fortitude, and the authoritarian, loving behavior that a father has. And so once again, we see a young man's life totally go to dust in the rubbish bin because dad's not around. Sucks to see, but, nature's not fair. And there's no do-overs. Sometimes all it takes is one mess up and you're down for the count. Anyways, I got to go do some shopping before I go home, guys. I hope you like the content. TheSoftSpokenShaman@gmail.com is the place to hit me up. If you like to read my books, if you like to reach out, if you have questions, if you'd like to sponsor a video or whatever, that's the place to reach out. I hope you have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.